Thanks, Chairman Cornyn, and congratulations on your appointment as chairman of the subcommittee. As the new ranking member of the subcommittee, I want to work with you on some challenging issues, and we have many. There are more issues facing this subcommittee than any other subcommittee of the Senate Judiciary Committee. They are far-reaching, they're historic, and they reach to the heart of our constitutional values as a nation. I hope this is only the first of many meetings to explore these timely and critical issues relating to immigration in America. Let me recognize a few of those issues. I believe we should convene meetings to consider President Trump's executive order restricting travel to the United States of America. And of course, the President's January 25th executive order making up to 8 million immigrants priorities for deportation in the United States, and seeking to create a deportation force by tripling the number of immigration agents. This order also aimed to deprive communities of billions of dollars in critical federal funding if they refuse to take part in this mass deportation plan. This threat ignores the reality. The vast majority of undocumented immigrants in the United States today are law-abiding individuals who only want to raise their families in a free country. They are making valuable economic contributions to our economy, and many of them have deep roots in our communities. The President's controversial travel ban sought to ban refugees as well as nationals from 6 Muslim-majority countries, turning away the victims of persecution, genocide, and terror is a dramatic departure from the record that the United States of America has written since World War II. Since that time, we have led the world in our humanitarian relief to refugees and asylees from all over the world. We have 4 Hispanic United States senators. 3 of them trace their roots to Cuba. The people of Cuba came to the United States as refugees, and now an important part of America's scene and an important part of our Senate. Were we wrong to accept the refugees from this communist nation without extreme vetting? No, we did the right thing, and America is better for it. The same story can be told about Soviet Jews facing persecution in the Soviet Union. Wanting to go to Israel or to the United States, we accepted 120,000 of them without extreme vetting. Our history since World War II is one we should be proud of. The United States has stood up to help people who were the victims of persecution overseas, and the world recognized it. Now, with this new president, a reversal in policy. At the request of Senator Duckworth and myself, the DHS Inspector General has opened an investigation into the chaotic implementation of this travel ban order. I think this subcommittee ought to take it up. These executive orders fall squarely under our jurisdiction, and there's plenty of precedent for hearings. During the Obama administration, the Republican majority held a lot of oversight hearings concerning the executive branch's immigration policies. My staff has even found some quotes from senators now sitting on the committee at the time encouraging more oversight hearings of the previous administration. Instead, our hearing today is focused on border security. Let's be clear. The United States government already spends more on immigration enforcement. Listen to this, more on immigration enforcement than all other federal law enforcement agencies combined. From fiscal year 2003 to fiscal year 2016, the number of immigration agents nearly tripled. The number of Border Patrol agents nearly doubled. CBP now has the largest number of armed, sworn law enforcement officers in our country, nearly double the number of FBI, DEA, ATF, and Secret Service agents combined. According to Border Patrol statistics, the number of migrants apprehended trying to cross the U.S.-Mexico border has declined from 1.6 million in fiscal year 2000 to about 408,000 in fiscal year 2016. From 2009 to 2014, net migration from Mexico to the United States was below 0. In other words, more Mexicans returned to Mexico than came to the United States. Yet the president insists we must build a, quote, big, beautiful wall on the southern border. Mexico is not going to pay for the wall, as the president promised, and the Homeland Security Committee has already estimated that this big, beautiful wall could cost nearly $70 billion to build and $150 million a year to maintain. Even the Trump administration acknowledges the wall will cost at least $21.6 billion, not including maintenance. Texas Republican Congressman Will Hurd, whose district covers 800 miles of the southwest border, has described the wall as, and I quote, "the most expensive and least effective way to secure the border." Texas Republican Congressman. And I want to commend Chairman Cornyn for raising concerns about the wall as well. So why don't we have a hearing? Let's have a hearing on the most effective border security strategies, and let's see where this big, beautiful wall places in the competition. In addition to the wall, the president has ordered CBP to hire 5,000 more Border Patrol agents, a 25% increase in manpower. The cost, billions of dollars. When you think about all the threats that our country faces, may I name a few? Terrorism, cyber attacks, the opioid crisis, gun violence. It is astounding the president would prioritize adding 5,000 agents to what is already by far the largest law enforcement force in the country today. I'm very concerned this could lead to weakening your standards and an increase in corruption and misconduct if we're not careful how we hire these new agents. In fact, the Government Accountability Office found that more than 2,100 agents were arrested for misconduct between 2005 and 2012. In response, Congress required all Border Patrol applicants to submit to polygraph. CBP applicants' failure rate of approximately 65% on these polygraph exams greatly exceeds that of other law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and Secret Service. Their failure rate's 35%. A Homeland Security Advisory Panel, co-chaired by former NYPD Police Commissioner Bill Bratton and former Bush administration DEA Administrator Karen Tandy, found, and I quote, "CBP remains vulnerable to corruption that threatens its effectiveness and national security." Last year, this panel recommended expanding the CBP polygraph program to include post-employment random and target polygraphs, which the FBI, DIA, CIA, and NSA already do. GAO made a similar recommendation 5 years ago. But instead, this agency has proposed scaling back polygraph exams with fewer questions, and Congress is considering legislation to completely waive a polygraph requirement. DHS Inspector General Roth said of this plan, quote, "It could put CBP at significant risk." During today's hearing, I want to learn how CBP plans to mitigate concerns about corruption and misconduct in their ranks if they are going to dramatically change or eliminate this polygraph exam. I'm not averse to making investments in border security, but we know the real answer to this issue. We need a comprehensive immigration reform bill. Our immigration system is broken, and broken badly. 8 of us got together, 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans, and proposed a bill several years ago, passed the Senate with a strong bipartisan vote. The House refused to take it up. So I'm hoping that in addition to the obvious, in terms of making our border secure, we will commit ourselves to making certain that we have laws that keep us secure. More than 8 years ago, I held my first hearing as chairman of the Crime and Drug Subcommittee on the threat posed by Mexican drug cartels, and I noted the insatiable demand for illegal drugs in the United States keeps the Mexican drug cartels in business, and the iron river of guns from the United States arms the cartels to their teeth. This is a problem that's grown worse in the 8 years since. I'm hoping that we can also consider that, and I look forward to working with the chairman and the committee on this and so many other critical issues that we should be addressing.